At night, the past gets louder because the world finally gets quiet. The house settles, the lights go out, and there you are, lying in bed, staring at the dark like it's a screen. In the daytime, you can manage, you can keep busy, you can do errands, talk to people, watch something, distract yourself. But at night, when the noise is gone, memories line up. A sentence you shouldn't have said, a chance you didn't take, a person you should have treated better, a door you closed too hard, a life you lived on survival when you wish you'd lived on courage. And the strange thing is, it can get worse with age. Not because you're becoming weaker, because time starts feeling thinner. A decade doesn't feel like forever anymore. So the mind begins to measure. It begins to review. It begins to whisper, "What did I waste? What did I miss? Who did I hurt? Who did I let go?" Regret loves a quiet room. Tonight's letter is about why nighttime regret gets worse with age, and how it finally softens. Not by pretending the past didn't happen, not by forcing yourself to be positive, but by learning something older people learned the hard way. Midnight is a terrible courtroom. I stopped arguing with the past at midnight, because arguing with the past doesn't fix it. It just keeps you awake. It keeps your body tense. It keeps you paying for old mistakes every night like a private punishment. So if you've been lying awake lately with old memories visiting you, if you've been wrestling the same chapters in the dark, this letter is for you. There is a way to stop fighting, a way to let the past be true, without letting it take your sleep. In the next part, I want to talk about why regret shows up at night in the first place, why the day feels manageable and the night feels like honesty, and why the mind tries to rewrite what it can't. Regret doesn't always come because you're doing something wrong. A lot of the time it comes because night is quiet, the day is busy, night is honest. In the daytime, there are interruptions. There are voices, errands, screens, small responsibilities. Even if you're retired, the day still has movement. Light coming through windows, a neighbor's car, the phone, a task you can complete. But at night, the world stops asking things of you. So your mind starts asking. It starts reviewing what it couldn't face when everything was moving. And after 60, the review can feel sharper. Because you've lived long enough to see patterns. You can see where a decision led. You can see what a habit cost. You can see the people you lost, not just by death, but by distance, pride, silence. And then there's the simplest reason. Your body is tired. And when the body is tired, the mind sometimes drops its guard. Old feelings rise. Unfinished emotional business shows up like it has been waiting all day. Words unsaid, apologies never given, moments you wish you could redo. Sometimes it's not even one big regret, it's 100 small ones that add up to a heavy feeling. And at night, they all get the microphone. It can feel like an old song you can't turn off. You're half asleep, and suddenly you're back there, in that room, in that argument, in that mistake. And the mind does what minds do. It tries to solve it. It tries to rewrite it. It tries to find the perfect sentence that would make it all come out differently. The mind tries to rewrite what it can't. That's why I keep spinning. Not because you enjoy suffering, because some part of you believes that if you could just understand it enough, you'd finally be allowed to rest. But the night doesn't reward that effort. It just keeps you awake. In the next part, I want to talk about the trap, wrestling the past in the dark, the loop of replay and self-blame that feels like processing but often becomes punishment. And once you see the loop clearly, you can step out of it. Here's the trap. At night, the mind turns regret into a courtroom. You become the prosecutor. You list the evidence. You replay the scene. You ask yourself the same questions like you'll finally get a clean answer. Why did I do that? Why didn't I leave sooner? Why didn't I speak up? Why did I waste so much time? How could I have been so foolish? And the harshest part is this: there's no verdict that sets you free. No matter how many times you replay it, you don't walk out lighter. You just get more tired. Midnight is a terrible courtroom, because at midnight, you're not wise, you're exhausted. And exhaustion always makes everything feel worse. Exhaustion makes the past feel heavier. It makes shame feel louder. It makes you forget every good thing you ever did.
So you pay for old mistakes in the dark. I paid for old mistakes every night. Not in money, in sleep, in peace, in the way my body tightened as soon as the lights went out. And you know what wrestling looks like. It looks like imaginary conversations. You rehearse what you should have said. You imagine them finally understanding. You imagine yourself finally winning. Or you imagine yourself apologizing perfectly. And for a second it feels like you're doing something useful. But then you're still in bed, still awake, still tense. Wrestling keeps the wound open. It's like picking at a scab because you want it to heal faster. But it doesn't heal faster. It just bleeds again. And sometimes the wrestling turns into punishment on purpose.
We don't admit it, but some part of us thinks, if I suffer enough, it proves I'm sorry. If I keep hurting, it means I have a conscience. If I stop punishing myself, it means I'm letting myself off the hook. But self-hatred isn't accountability. It's just pain. And pain doesn't rewrite history. In the next part, I want to show you a different shift, one that doesn't excuse the past, but stops attacking the present. It's the older kind of mercy, softening without pretending, holding truth without hatred, and learning to speak to your younger self like someone you love. There's a way regret softens that doesn't require denial. It doesn't require you to pretend everything was fine. It simply requires you to stop using punishment as proof. Because the older you get, the more you realize you can regret it without hating yourself. You can take responsibility without tearing yourself apart. I don't need punishment to prove I'm sorry. That's the shift. It's a quiet, mature kind of accountability. It says, yes, I made choices I wish I hadn't. Yes, I hurt someone. Yes, I wasted time. Yes, I didn't know then what I know now. And also, I was human. I was scared. I was doing what I could with what I had. I didn't have the tools I have now. This is where it helps to picture your younger self, not the version of you you judge, the version of you who was trying. Maybe you see yourself at a kitchen table late at night, worried about money. Maybe you see yourself in a bad marriage, trying to keep peace. Maybe you see yourself raising kids with no sleep and no help. Maybe you see yourself saying yes because you didn't know how to say no. If you could sit across from that version of you, would you shout at them? Would you punish them?
Or would you say something softer, something true? You'd probably say, you didn't know. You were doing your best. You were trying to survive. I wish you'd had more support. That doesn't erase what happened. It just stops the cruelty. Because the cruelty doesn't fix anything. It only steals your sleep. So here's a sentence I learned to use when regret shows up at night. That was real, and it's over. Not to dismiss it, to locate it in time. It happened. It belongs to the past. And tonight, I'm in a bed, in a safe room, in a life that still has time left. Another sentence. I can learn from it without reliving it. This is what older wisdom looks like. It's not pretending you were perfect. It's refusing to keep beating yourself for being human. In the next part, I want to offer a simple night ritual. Nothing complicated, nothing preachy, just a gentle way to meet the memory when it visits, so it doesn't take the whole night. A way to say, I see you, and then return to rest. When memories show up at night, most people try to do one of two things. They fight them, or they drown in them. There's a third way. You acknowledge them without entering the trial. Here's a simple ritual that helped me. It starts with one sentence. Ah, it's you again. Not angry, not afraid, just naming it. Because when you name a memory, it loses a little of its power. It stops being a storm. It becomes a visitor. Then you do something small and physical, so your mind knows you're changing the channel. Keep a small notepad by the bed. Not for journaling, just for one line. When the regret shows up, write something like, I did my best with what I knew then. Or, I can learn from this without punishing myself tonight. Or, this is not getting solved at midnight. No long paragraphs, one line, that's enough. Then you give your body a signal of safety. Slow your breathing, not dramatically, just slower than it was. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. If you like, you can do a gentle scan. Forehead, soften. Eyes, soften. Chest, loosen. Hands, unclench. And then comes the most important rule. I don't solve the past in the dark. Night is for rest, not trials. That means when your mind tries to negotiate, just 5 more minutes of thinking and we'll fix it, you don't follow it. You return to something simple and present. A neutral thought. A safe image. Something like, I am in my bed. The house is quiet. I am safe right now. Sometimes I picture a small lamp in the hallway or morning light coming back. Not as fantasy, as a reminder. This moment will pass. If you use soft music, keep it gentle, low, and familiar. If you pray, keep it simple. Not a desperate bargaining, just help me release what I can't change tonight. And if the memory returns, because sometimes it will, you repeat the ritual. Name it. One line. Return to the body. Return to the present. That's how you teach your mind something new. You don't have to suffer to be a good person. You don't have to relive the past to learn from it. In the next part, I want to talk about what happens over time when you stop wrestling. Regret doesn't vanish, but it changes. It becomes a teacher instead of a jailer, and you start sleeping like someone who finally gave themselves permission to rest. Regret doesn't always disappear, but it can stop being violent. It can stop barging in like a storm. It can start arriving like a quiet reminder, one you can nod at and let pass. That's what softening really means. Not forgetting, not excusing, just no longer being owned by it. Over time, you learn something important. Regret is sometimes a teacher. It shows you what mattered. It shows you what you value now. It shows you where your heart grew. But a teacher isn't supposed to move into your bedroom and keep you awake every night. So you let it teach, and then you send it home. And when you can, you make amends. Not perfectly, not dramatically, just honestly. A call you've been avoiding, a simple apology to someone safe enough to hear it. A kindness you offer now that you didn't offer then. And for the regrets you can't fix because some people are gone or the moment is long past, you release them in a different way. You stop trying to time travel. You stop trying to earn forgiveness through insomnia. You accept the human truth. I cannot redo it, but I can live better now. That's the only place your power still exists. And here's what surprises people. When you stop punishing yourself at night, you become more gentle in the day. You become more present. You become less reactive. You start treating people with the softness you wish you'd had earlier. And that is a kind of redemption. Not the dramatic kind, the real kind. I gave myself permission to sleep. That sentence matters. Because sleep is not just rest. Sleep is dignity. Sleep is your body saying, I deserve care. After 60, you don't want to waste nights on old arguments. You want mornings that feel lighter. You want a mind that can settle. So you practice. Night after night, you choose the ritual. You choose the one line. You choose the breath. You choose the truth. This will not be solved at midnight. And gradually, the mind believes you. In the closing, I want to leave you with a gentle permission. If memories visit you at night, you're not alone. But you don't have to wrestle them. You can let them pass through without letting them take your sleep. If memories visit you at night, you're not alone. That quiet hour has a way of bringing old chapters back. Regret loves a quiet room. But you don't have to turn your bed into a courtroom. You don't have to keep paying for the past with your sleep. You can regret it without hating yourself. You can learn without reliving. And you can say, gently but firmly, I don't solve the past in the dark. You deserve sleep that isn't a punishment. You deserve rest that doesn't come with self-attack. So tonight, if a memory shows up, try the smallest kindness. Name it. Write one line. Breathe. Return to the present. Let the past be true, without letting it take the whole night. If this letter met you at the right time, you're welcome here. And if you'd like, tell me in the comments, what memory tends to visit you at night, and what helps you soften when it does? Take what helps, leave the rest.